The next question is addressing plateaus throughout your weight loss journey. Are you stalling? Are you stuck? Is your caloric intake decreasing, but your weight's not going anywhere? Is your weight going up? What's going on within a plateau? So I think the biggest reason for plateaus is possibly not monitoring all your variables correctly. Are you weighing out your food to the gram, to the T, every single day, every single meal? Are you snacking while you're cooking your food? Because I used to snack while I prepped my vegetables, and before I knew it, the whole tray of vegetables would be gone, and I would have nothing left to prepare. And that you can't say that doesn't count because it's a vegetable. Like all of that stuff matters. All of it plays a role in the outcome at the end of the day. Are you nailing all your variables during your training sessions, during your cardio sessions? Are you hitting your sleep goals and your targeted hours of sleep every night? Are you resting and recovering as you should? Because you're seeing the scale go up or possibly not change, are you then taking away from your rest days thinking that it's going to make a difference in your weight loss and help you? Because that's probably opposite of the case. I think a plateau is going to come from a place of a lack of recovery, lack of sleep, lack of monitoring those important variables like your diet and your training and your cardio. Are you maybe not putting as much effort into your cardio as you should be? Are you missing reps and sets during your training? Could you be pushing yourself more? Do you need to pull back a little bit? These are all questions that I think you need to ask when addressing a plateau and figuring out what's going through a plateau. I think another thing is maybe your body is just resisting that change. Something that we did that we addressed in our previous video is we gave my body 2 high days of food, which initially then after that allowed me to drop weight. I was able to push through. We didn't necessarily hit a plateau, but I was stuck a little bit, not for an extended period of time, but just that increase in calories for a day or two helped me kind of revamp and get going again, get things moving again. So if that's the case, if you are monitoring everything and you know that everything is on point, then maybe it's time for a diet break or a refeed or a higher carb day or strain of a few days.
Something else too, I mean, I couldn't say any better than what she just said. There's so many variables within a plateau. Just to answer this question, it's kind of hard because we're just making more blanket statements. So if, your individual situation matters, your response matters. If you guys have specific questions, please just comment them below and we can answer them specifically about your situation. But I also want to kind of go to the other end of the spectrum of like, are you really plateauing or are you just basing your plateau off of something in terms of a number, and kind of relating it to Nadia's prep. If we weren't paying so close attention to her progress pictures, she right now would probably be on 3 hours of cardio a day and no food because
my weight really hasn't changed.
Her weight hasn't changed in a long time. And we're getting little fluctuations, but realistically, like if we were basing her entire prep off of scale loss, and that's the biggest difference that I need to kind of convey to you guys is are you trying to chase the scale? Or are you trying to chase a look? Because a lot cosmetically can be going on without the scale making changes. So another variable that you really need to consider within your plateauing is, are you taking proper progress pictures? And if you are, now again, you very well could be doing all the above and still plateau. That's a very realistic thing. And that takes very specific navigation to get through that. And in one video, there's no way that we could possibly address that. And that's honestly why we're coaching people, because that takes time, and also something I really try to remind people is the situation that you're in now, you didn't get there overnight. You didn't get there in a month. You didn't get there in 2 months. So you also can't expect that situation to reverse overnight. So there's a lot within the question of plateauing, and I wanted to kind of just present like a different dynamic to it, that maybe you're not plateauing. Maybe you're just basing so much of your success or failures off of what the number on the scale is showing you, when that really doesn't paint the whole picture at all. So ultimately what Nadia said was 100% accurate. Like, I'm really, really proud of that answer. But also for those of you guys that are doing everything right, you might just be missing the picture because you're putting so much of your self-worth and value in what a number is rather than what your progress is really doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that during a plateau, even if your weight is changing in a negative way, if it's going up when you want it to go down, for example, are you feeling stronger in the gym? Are your weights going up? Are you increasing reps? Is your appetite the same? Is it different? Like, those are all things that need to be addressed, because if you're feeling hungrier, if you're feeling stronger and getting more out of your training sessions, maybe it's not a bad thing that your weight's not changing. Maybe your body composition's changing, and that's something that goes into what Matt said and what he talked about looking at your pictures, comparing more things than just a scale. That's just a general insight into plateaus and how they affect